the house built?
I don't know. Mr. Fisher?
1919.
I get the impression that you know quite a bit about Belasco. Would you mind sharing it with us?
His first name was Emmerich. He was born on March the 23rd, 1879. He was the illegitimate son of an American munitions maker.
What did he look like?
His was a frightening visage, like the face of a demon that had taken on some human aspect.
Are you quoting?
Yes, I am. That is his second wife. She committed suicide in this room in 1927.
How tall was he?
He was 6'5". They called him the Roaring Giant.
What did he do to make this house so evil, Mr. Fisher?
Drug addiction, alcoholism, sadism, bestiality, mutilation, murder, vampirism, necrophilia, cannibalism, not to mention a gamut of sexual goodies. Shall I go on?
How did it end?
If it had ended, we would not be here.
Hello, folks, and welcome back after a long time away to the Sin Beef podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Gary Hill. With me tonight is the lovely Suzanne. How are you, girl?
Much better after a mental health day off.
Cool. You need that, you know. Personal day.
Yeah. It was very, 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 very needed.
Oh, man. That's good. That's good. And also with us, you know, the also lovely and undeniable, my lovely Iris. How you doing?
Hello. How y'all doing?
Oh, it's Thursday night. I'm chatting to two of my favorite people. It's been a good last couple nights here, so I'm into it. You know, let's talk some shit here. Oh my gosh, Iris, I'm gonna put it to you right away because you haven't been on since you guys started. You and my favorite old curmudgeon in California have a brand new thing going on, and I'm enjoying it. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, so basically we have started a new podcast, Mike and myself, and it's basically what we do is we are talking about all kinds of stuff. Like our first episode was about Noah's Ark, and the second episode was about the ghosts of Flight 401, and Mike will be speaking on Lawrence Singleton, the Mad Chopper, and my next one is going to be about Mothman. So we are having fun. It's basically, the show is basically, it talks about cryptids, UFOs, you know, paranormal stuff, aliens, flight crashes, accident, just anything. It's just going to be a wide variety of topics. And it's called That's Sort of Weird. And you can find it at that'ssortofweird.com. And we are really enjoying it. So I hope you guys do too.
Yeah, I saw you talking about the Ghosts of Flight 401, and I read the book a long time ago. I saw the TV.
The George Fuller book.
Yeah. And I mean, I just, every once in a while, I will just stumble on a spate of articles about it and how, you know, some of the parts that they use from the wreckage. You'd see the ghost of the flight attendant, and it's just a really, really interesting story.
It really is, and it's just, well, it's sort of weird, I guess.
No shameless plug intended.
I'm all about the shameless plug.
So many plugs.
Yeah, but we do enjoy it, and we have a face group. We also have a Facebook group if you want to take a look at it. So yeah, just search for That's Sorta with an A. That's Sorta Weird podcast, and you'll find us.
Works, babe, works. You know, come join the Butcher Shop Facebook group. If you guys haven't done that yet, just go search that out and see what's coming up and all that good stuff. That's something you said at the end of the show, but I don't care. I'm unorthodox tonight, and fuck it. I will kick it to Suzanne first and ask her what's she been watching lately.
Oh my God. I have been watching a whole lot of sports, obviously. And I finally finally kicked back and watched The Black Phone. One of those little, it wasn't, I tried to keep all of the keep it as vague as I could so I could kind of go in blank because I've heard people hate it. I've heard people love it. I saw it was a Blumhouse movie, and Blumhouse aggravates me a lot. So I just kind of, okay, don't turn it off. I saw the story was by Joe Hill, and I knew it kind of sounded familiar, so I know at some point I had to have read the short story. But let's just say I was very pleasantly surprised by it. There was some, I have to admit, some downright unsettling images going on in that movie. It was quite good. And the other thing I finally broke down and did, I finally got around to watching the WNUF Halloween special and Ghostwatch. I've seen them before, but it's like one of those things it was always background noise. I've never really totally paid, full attention. So it was, Ghostwatch was very well done. You actually got that sense of a haunting, where WNUF, that was just, I laughed my ass off throughout the whole thing. It was a lot of fun to watch. So I just, for some reason, those two movies got stuck in my head, and I decided, yeah, what the hell? It's time to kick back and watch them. So it's kind of the main stuff I've watched lately.
I didn't watch Black Phone yet. I want to, because it's got a great mask in it. I will say it's pretty commanding looking. It reminds me of what's the Japanese Onibaba? Is that the one?
Okay.
From way back when. I think the 60s Onibaba came out, I think.
Oh, wow, that's going back.
It's a good-looking mask, though, and I want to say Savini did it for that mask, just the mask, because I know he worked on a similar mask for Bray Wyatt's new gimmick he has going on with, I think it's called Mr. Howdy, is the mask, the guy that wears the mask, and it looks very similar. And he made the mask for Bray Wyatt before this, and it seemed very interesting. I didn't get to watch it yet, though. I know Ethan Hawke's in it, and people rave about it, and I usually, when they rave about it, I don't enjoy it so much. I'll talk about that when it's my turn. Iris, anything you've been watching lately, girl?
Oh, well, I have been really, really enjoying the Japanese Tales of the Macabre. That's on Netflix right now, and that's been really good. I've been really, really enjoying that. Lynn and I started watching Willow on Disney. Loving it. Though, did they have to throw the gay thing in there? Really? I mean, come on, but whatever.
This is my only issue with the show, is that not the gay thing, but like some of the dialogue is like modernized in there in a way.
Mm-hmm,
and in my brain, I'm like, who are they writing this for? It's not. It doesn't belong here. But
no, it doesn't. And I kind of feel a little mad that this was not written for me, the kid who watched Willow, the first one, back in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. And really, I mean, God, does everything have to have a gay couple in it now?
They lean on it, but they don't lean crazy hard on it like in most of the parts, but yeah.
Oh my God. And if anybody listening is new and doesn't know, I'm gay. So I'm not being an asshole. I'm just being an asshole. Let's see what else. Oh, and then, oh my God. So I had such high hopes for Horror in the High Desert. And this is it's a movie on Prime. And I was like, oh, this looks good, because it's about this guy named Gary Hinge, and he disappeared in the desert. And I was like, oh, so this looks pretty good. So I'm watching, and I'm really getting into it. And all of a sudden they find the camera. And I'm like, motherfucker, if this is going to turn into a found footage. And it did.
Oh.
And not only did it turn into a found footage, but I was getting like a real I was getting a real feel of like this was, kind of like a true crime documentary type of thing. No, it's not. It was one of those stupid ass the things where they find the camera in the end and the monster comes at you at the very end.
Oh,
I'm like, I wasted an hour and a half for this bullshit. Fuck this.
I hate that. That aggravates the hell out of me.
God. So since I was on Prime, I went ahead and switched it over to. There is this little production company that I love, and Suzanne, you're gonna love this little production company, and they're on Prime. They're called Small Town Monsters, is the name of the production company,
Ooh.
and they have these little documentaries, and it's fact based, so it's not like woo type of shit, but it's facts. This one was about the Mothman. They have one about the Dogman of what is it, Brer Road or Braith Road or something like that.
Road.
And then they have a couple of others that they've done of the Ugwajis or the Mugwajis in up in Connecticut, and just really really good fact-based paranormal type of stuff where they give you fact and fiction at the same time, and they kind of let you make the decision. Yeah. You should look them up. The production company is Small Town Monsters.
Yeah, I'm actually on Amazon Prime looking now.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
It sounds familiar, but there is one I did watch. I forgot in this. I can't believe it. I spaced it, but it's this true haunting thing. Now I'm trying to find the damn name of it. And these ghost hunters, some people who bought the Perone house from the Conjuring.
Oh yeah.
Did you
something about not sleeping at night, sleepless nights, or something like that?
Yeah, and I can't find it. I didn't watch it all that long ago. But
It was.
I have to admit, there were some unusual things that they caught on film in that.
Yeah, and then they also had the group that came in was pretty interesting. The blonde gal that was the psychic medium.
Yeah.
She was really interesting, and I've seen her on other stuff. But yeah, that's a good one. I have seen that one, and I think the Perone house is probably going to end up an episode on. That's sort of weird.
Did you read the book that the daughter wrote? There's like 3 volumes of them.
Oh my God, I tried to read it, but they were so
bad.
It's real. Nobody edited. Nobody did any editing on that thing because wow, grammatically, it's just like, oh, this is hard to read. But yeah,
I managed to get through the first one. I bought the second and third ones, sight unseen because I'm an idiot.
They're no better. They are no better.
The third one is almost it's I don't want to say illegible, but it's that you can't understand anything, and everything is because her mother loved poetry. She threw all of this poetry in that had absolutely nothing to do
with it. It's kind of like the ravings of a mad woman. Seriously.
And did you see there's another documentary that actually one of my friends found it, of all places, Kmart, and they sent it to me, and it's just called House of Darkness.
Ooh, no, I don't know that one. I'm going to have to look that up.
It's basically, I think it's Andrea, the daughter, and she. I'll be honest with you. I will find the name of it, but I do believe it's House of Darkness, House of Light.
Oh yeah, that's the same name of the book, right?
Yeah, and I have to admit, the woman comes off as almost completely unlikable. It's very, very bizarre.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
All right, I will make sure I've got the right name. I'll send you the IMDb info.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It's gonna be out there someplace. If you can't find it anywhere, let me know. Okay. I'll dig out my copy and send it to you.
Sweet, awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so so besides that, been watching Love is Blind Brazil. That is bizarre. And yeah, that's pretty much it, except for, trash TV. Anything that TLC can throw at me, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I watched all of Willow, the new series, and it wraps itself up pretty good for a first season, and
Oh,
it,
nice.
it makes you want a second season. But I hope they just tighten up that writing just a little bit for me, because it's not the gay thing, it's the like the modern slang they throw in there for no reason, and I don't appreciate that. It's just that I like these characters. I want to be with these characters, and it's just yeah, it's just stupid the way they did that. One thing I can't recommend though, check out, if people are dumping all over because they are misinformed, is the National Treasure series on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah. So I was watching some of that, and Lynn and I kind of got sucked into that too.
I mean,
I'm sorry, but
no, you're okay, you're okay.
the Catherine Zeta-Jones plays a wonderful bad guy. I am like in love with her.
But people don't know that are misinformed is that the show and the movies are connected. They're not set a remake, because characters
No, it's not.
from the movies show up on the show. So
Exactly.
and there was another movie in the works with Nicolas Cage, so there's a chance for crossover there if you think about it.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So it's just,
Yeah, no, totally. Well, see, again, it is somebody's probably a lot of them are coming in and like, oh, really cool show. And it's like, well, this is dumb. We don't understand this. Well, it's because you haven't watched the original movies. Come on. But yeah,
it's really working for me though. Usually I'm not in that young girl.
it is for me too.
Playing Nancy Drew, but they really play it intelligently, and I'm really I'm really enjoying it actually. So if you haven't gave it a chance yet, if you think that I'm not gonna like this because it's just a remake of the movies, it's not a remake of the movies.
It's not.
I love these Disney properties, especially the Nicolas Cage ones. I rewatched The Sorcerer's Apprentice because I think that's the most fun you could have with a Nicolas Cage movie ever. And you get to the end. I didn't realize there was an end credits scene to where you see Mickey's sorcerer's hat inside of a jar and him picking up a tome, and you realize that's a sequel that never came to the most fun you'll have with a Nicolas Cage movie. And I get real sad, besides that stuff, Hunters season 2, the final season, showed up on Amazon Prime. If you don't know what Hunters is, it's been away for a while, like probably a good 3 years. It's about Nazi hunters, of course, fictionalized Nazi hunters, in the 70s. And it stars Logan Lerman, who you might know from the Percy Jackson films, which I rewatched recently as well, because the series is coming. Great fun there.
Doing a series?
Huh?
We're doing a series?
Doing a TV series, yeah.
Oh my god, on what?
Disney Plus, I believe.
Oh my god, I love that. I love those movies.
Yeah, so that's coming.
Sorry.
Also, you're okay. Also, Josh Radnor from How I Met Your Mother, Carol Kane, banner performance in both seasons, especially this season, in my opinion. Lots of Al Pacino, Jennifer Jason Leigh. If you're not watching it, you should be watching it. It's pretty great. And this season wraps up real fine, where you find at the end that Hitler is very much alive, that he escaped to Europe, and he's a big part of this plot, and played by Udo Kier in the second season of the show.
Oh, very nice.
So that's great. That's like the best stunt casting you could have, in my opinion. It's put Udo in there doing his thing.
Very, very nice.
I don't want to give too much away, but there's a monologue in the final episode of the season that Carol Kane gives, where I hope she wins an Emmy for it, because you believe that she was in Nazi Germany. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
It's very
nice.
very emotional. That's my girl right there. Besides that, I ain't got a whole lot more of it. But today I watched that movie about the robot girl. I watched Megan today,
Megan, how is that?
or Mithrigan, whatever you want to call it. Because I've seen the meme with Keegan Michael Key from Key and Peele. He does a teacher thing, and I laugh my ass off. All right, Mithrigan, it's okay. It went for the fences for a PG-13 horror film. I would like to see an R-rated cut. If you don't know what this is, basically a little girl, parents get in a car accident, she survives, is taken in by her aunt who works for a toy company. They make like super toys, and she's working on this human looking doll that can learn things, of course, and blah 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 blah. And of course, this thing goes from zero to sociopath in about 0.5 seconds in this movie, and that's something really, really unbelievable to me about it. Like, yeah, all of a sudden, like, yeah, she learns things, and the whole ploy of the movie is she's there to protect the girl physically and emotionally. So whenever something happens to the girl, like she gets bit in the hand by this next door neighborhood dog, so you know something's gonna happen to the dog. You know something's gonna happen to the bitch neighbor, and this kid picks on her, so you know something's gonna happen to the kid. But you know, it starts out slow, but it really picks up the pace. You know, everybody sees the scene where she's dancing because she danced with the girl because they're companions, of course. Her parents are dead. She needs a companion, so she finds that in this mechanical sociopath. And but what happens after she starts dancing in this office building is didn't see it coming, but it's fucking hilarious. Okay, but it ends really stupid though. But apparently it's getting a sequel, and I'm all for horror films in the box office doing well. That means that they can make more horror films. But this is a Blumhouse joint, and you're either for that or against that. I'm for it in a way to where they can make big money on a movie by not spending very much, and that gives them a chance to give other folks money to make movies. But I don't see that as much now, which is my only problem, is them giving like smaller directors money to make movies. It's just I don't know. It bothers me. Yeah, that's all I've been watching recently. I got a small beef though with people who are worried and bitching and moaning about, you know, the whole changing of the guard at the DC films and DC animated thing. And if you didn't know, James Gunn and I forget the other guy's name, but James Gunn's the big name everybody knows. Made Guardians of the Galaxy, made the Peacemaker TV show, worked for Troma. People forget that. I'm waiting for him to get canceled for his role in some of those movies, but it probably never going to happen. But he took over creative and stuff like that for that, and basically said, we're going to wipe this boring ass slate clean and start all over again. And we're going to keep the little parts that we like, but mostly start over. You know, with a new Batman and a new Superman, but not concentrate on those things so much. And I don't have a problem with this because the shit's fucking dull. Even the Marvel stuff's getting fucking dull at this point. But you know what they gave us out of the gate? If you didn't know, we saw a trailer last week for a Batman story that's written by Mike Mignola, who wrote Hellboy, or created Hellboy, called Batman: The Doom Came to Gotham. The Doom That Came to Gotham.
I am so excited about that.
Yeah, Batman fighting old gods
so
in 1920s Gotham. This is the shit that it starts with, and it looks fucking amazing. Okay, so all the haters out there that are shitting all over these ideas, just go watch that trailer, and just shut up. Okay, you know.
Yeah, go watch something else.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Because it looks amazing. It looks amazing. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking for some shine here, and people are just like, yeah, he's this, that, or the other. Like Henry Cavill never wanted to be Superman again. He was promised something in that Black Adam movie that was not delivered, and it just like, yeah, he's such an afterthought now. So he's gonna go do something else, which I think is some kind of video game thing or something. Because I guess he's a big gamer, and this is something he's wanted to do for a long time.
Oh, so he's going to be inside a video game?
No, like making some kind of movie project or TV project based on, is it Warhammer or something? I forget how that.
Oh, Warhammer, yes. Oh, that's right. So he's going to be Warhammer 40K. He's going to be Space Marines. Woo!
Yeah, I think he's going to be doing that, which he's very passionate about. So I don't see a problem or a bitch about this, because, yeah, let him go do his thing, you know? Fucking fandom. Sometimes fucking the worst thing in the world, and this DCU thing just brought it all out of me. Like, yeah, I don't need to see another thing where they're just gonna, like, go light on it and make me disappointed. And I watched trailer for this, and I'm like, I'm not disappointed at all. Just keep it coming, James Gunn, okay? You know? Because if you watch that first season of Peacemaker, you'll know he gets the joke all the way. If you watch his Suicide Squad movie, you know that he gets the joke all the way.
I like his Suicide Squad movie. I really do.
My buddy made a comment. The first thing he did was put clothes on Harley Quinn, and it was one of the smartest things he ever did because she wasn't over-sexualized in that movie. Or in, I think, the underrated Harley Quinn movie, her solo movie,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
he put clothes on Harley Quinn. It's the simplest thing in the world, and why not make her not over-sexualized? Make her a fully fleshed out character, and they did it,
Right. She wasn't just a eye candy boy toy. She was an actual character, and I love that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's my rant on DCU and where it stands. And go visit your local comic store and buy your Cards Without Humanity cards there, and fucking leave them at Target. Fuck those fucking people. They don't need your money, I hide that shit when I go in that store. Like, let me put this someplace else so they can't find it, Oh my gosh. But tonight we are here to talk about two films. Been a long time coming because it's been about a month and a half since we've been talking about doing this. Unconsensual Specters is the name of the show. We are doing The Legend of Hell House from 1973. And I forget which year The Entity came in, but it was very uncomfortable for me to watch it. I'm looking forward to talking about it and never viewing it ever again with these lovely ladies. We'll talk about why. I need a shower afterwards. We'll start with, I think, the earliest one, which would be The Legend of Hell House, right after this trailer.
What in the name of God?
Inside me, even as I'm speaking to you, I can feel him just waiting in there to take over.
The house tried to kill me. It almost succeeded. I don't accept this. I do not accept this.
Naked, drunk, fighting. Oh, please get me out of here. Please.
Florence.
The Legend of Hell House of 1973, rated PG. Well, I guess you didn't see a whole lot of nastiness in this movie. It was all, not like the next movie. But
This one was all inferred.
it was all inferred, yes. Your plot synopsis is, a physicist, his wife, and two mediums are hired to investigate the Belasco house, where 27 guests had inexplicably died in 1927, along with most of a team of paranormal investigators that was sent there in the early 50s. This has a pretty banner cast in it for British people, and get that now. Roddy McDowall plays Ben Fisher, Gail Honeycutt as Anne, Pamela Franklin as Florence, Clive Revell as Dr. Barrett, who, I'll get into why I know him for. We got two different Alfreds in this movie. I'll talk about that. Michael Gough as uncredited as Emmerich Belasco. I bring up his name, but and I'll tell you why in a second. Peter Bowles as Hanley, Roland Culver as Mr. Douche. Directed by John Ho, who gave us To Be Fair. I'm slow with this still, guys.
A little rusty.
Hey, a little rusty, man. But he worked on some pretty cool British stuff, including second unit on the Avengers TV show. If we scroll down to the thing, directed Watcher in the Woods, The Incubus,
Oh shit!
Escape the Witch Mountain, Dirty Mary Crazy Larry. Shit we'll be talking about, I'm sure. So, Twins of Evil. Oh my gosh, so many erections in that movie. I tell you right now. On this side of the microphone, Oh my gosh, those twins. Goddamn. Good job, sir, for filming all of that. But yeah, written by Richard Matheson, based on his novel, so you know it's going to be good. I will kick it to Suzanne first. Tell us all your budget you love for this movie.
Oh my god, this is one of the earliest horror movies I remember watching. It was one of those. It was the Saturday special. For some reason, it always popped up on early Saturday afternoons. This movie would creep the hell out of me. There's so much. There's absolute. This movie is flawless. I think the fear that you feel. Once again, you're not seeing ghosts. You're hearing things. You're not. You get like one glimpse of rotting corpse, and I think that's about all the gore that you get out of this. And maybe a little bit of you see stuff, but this. One of the most terrifying scenes in this movie for me is when she is sitting and she starts to manifest the physical things, the ectoplasm, and you just hear him saying, leave a sample in the jar, leave a sample in the jar. And then all of a sudden you just hear that loud snap and she starts screaming. That it's for me, it's just this. I could take this movie down scene by scene. It's insanely creepy, and there's nothing I love more than a good haunted house movie. Ghosts are my favorite subgenre. Ghosts and hauntings. It is just one of those things. And once again, Roddy McDowall is so good as Ben Fisher. He is trying to keep everything together. He's closing himself off. He's trying to teach the young girl how to do the same thing. And everybody's got their own ideas. Well, the young medium, God, and of course her name just left me. It's just one of those movies. It ages like fine wine. In the settings, I mean, you have to admit, it's absolutely, the sets are beautiful. You get that big sprawling manor house, the possessed cat. There's so many different layers to this. Hell, I think it's kind of funny. There's an album called Cleanse, Fold, and Manipulate by Skinny Puppy, and they sampled the hell out of this movie. And when she goes down after she's slightly possessed and tries to seduce Roddy McDowall's character, and she's just there, rattling off, biting and teasing, and it's all on this album. It's fantastic. But this is one of the great ghost movies of all time. Easily, I'd say there's about 5 to 7 that just are timeless, and you can watch them at any era, any time. They just work just because of how well written they are. And I'm also, shock and surprise, a huge fan of the book. I end up rereading it every couple of years just because there's little nuances. But this is as classic as you can get. You can't beat the cast. I love the whole concept of a machine to get rid of the ions that cause the disturbances, the whole reveal at the end. And it's just fantastic in every way. I know I had much more to say, and it's been a long week. I have gone completely blank. So my apologies. I'm sure when we come back around, I'll remember everything else I planned on saying.
No, you're okay. I'm sure you'll bounce off some stuff we're going to say. Iris, go for it.
So this movie is completely atmospheric from the very beginning. When they show the house and they're opening the gate and walking in, it's really, really visual. I mean, it's stupid to say that a movie's visual, but this one is extremely visual because everything hits you all at once. The haunting itself is very, very well done because it's very obscure. What you know of the haunting is what Florence Tanner, which Pamela Franklin, she's the psychic. She is a psychic medium, and she's already getting readings and feelings from the house as soon as she walks in. There's a chapel, and she's like, "Fuck, no, I ain't going in there." And of course, you have the physicist who is kind of like, "Oh, okay, whatever. Until I see something physical, it's not gonna, I don't believe in it." And then at one point where she has a sitting, she actually manifests the corporeal stuff. Oh God, what's it called? Ectoplasm.
Well,
And she actually manifests it. And I love her line when they tell her, she goes, "Oh, great, now I'm a physical medium too." But it's really, really good. And just the characters themselves. There's this young psychic who just throws herself into everything and ends up kind of screwing things up a little bit for herself. She believes that it's the son of the main bad guy, which is his name's Belasco. And then, like as Suzanne said, they do find a rotted corpse, and she is led to this corpse, and then they have a funeral for it. And all, but it's really good because I love each one has a very separate path. You have Roddy McDowell, who's like, "Oh fuck no, I'm closed off. I was here when I was 15, and everybody that was here died. So yeah." And then you have the scientist, Dr. Barrett, who's like, "Well, I'm going to fix this with science." And his wife was like, "I'm just here for the ride." Literally and figuratively. But as the story is coming together and it's being wrapped up, it's just done so well. One of the iconic, for me, extremely iconic, is what happens to Florence in the chapel at the very end. That is a picture that anytime I think of Hell House, that is what I think in my head, because as a kid, that was the most impactful scene for me when I saw this movie the very first time. And like Suzanne, I'm a big reader, and I have this in book. I have it audio. I mean, this is a great, great story. And the story itself is very atmospheric. So, and the story doesn't, the story itself, the book does not ruin the ambiguity of the ghost. And I love that the movie does the same thing. It does not ruin it until the very last reveal. But I think it's one of those great movies that it doesn't lose its it kind of like doesn't lose its I guess just the way its relevance. It doesn't lose any relevance even throughout time, because at that time, using science to do paranormal stuff, it was just the beginning, and that's what we're doing now. I mean, anytime somebody goes ghost hunting, they pull out a EMF detector. I mean, that's science. That's science. It's it's instruments and stuff. So, I think this is it remains relevant, and I just love this movie.
Yeah, I think I watched it for the first time at Suzanne's house, and It's a pretty good one. I do enjoy it for all the reasons they said so far. I mentioned that there's two Alfreds in this movie. I'm referring to Batman again. Clive Revell, who I know mostly for his voice acting, because through the 80s, I think through like today, he's still a voice actor. He was Kickback in Transformers the movie. He was the voice of the Emperor in the current Star Wars. I think in the original Star Wars too. Michael Gough shows up in this movie. He's my second Alfred, the Alfred that I know, not my first Alfred, but these are the two Alfreds that I fell in love with because Clive Revell played the voice of Alfred on Batman the Animated Series. So these are the two Alfreds that I know and I love so much. Although my first Alfred was the '60s Batman Alfred. They do it oh so fine. I love the fact in this movie that it has the trope of white folks going into a death house and they're not going to leave because they're white. But you have the white character of Roddy McDowall, Ben Fisher, telling them, no, you should fucking get out of here because it's a bad place. People die here, and I witnessed this, and you guys should get the fuck out of here. And they stay anyway, of course, and shit happens. But other than the fact that there's that character out there that's there to break that trope of white folks staying in the haunted house. Maybe it's a bad idea, and yeah, don't do that. But I think that Jeffrey Combs owes a lot to our friend Roddy McDowall here in roles like this, because if you look at the way Jeffrey Combs acts and everything, he has that unhinged look on his face, and compare and contrast Roddy's role in this movie in the way he carries himself, and watch Reanimator and watch the way that Jeffrey Combs carries himself in that movie. Very unhinged, very nervous, almost stammering but not stammering. A lot of the mannerisms are there. So thank your lucky stars there, Jeffrey Combs, because you got it from somewhere. I watching this watch around, I see it right there. Where you got that from. And it's not a bad thing. It's a nice tribute. Pamela Franklin is Florence. Only fucking white person I know who was a medium in this movie, of course, playing this character that finds out she's going to go to a death house. She feels all these nasty things in the chapel, yada yada. And what does she do? She fucking taunts the ghost that happens to be in her bedroom.
Right? Is that all you can do?
Yeah. She's pulling the bed sheets now. He's doing all this other shit. And you're like, I'll lay in that bed. Fuck no, man. You lay downstairs or something. I wouldn't lay in that fucking bed if a goddamn ghost is in there. And, oh, man. My main issue with this film, and it's not even a big issue, is that I can't watch it with a straight face because I've seen Scary Movie 2.
Oh, God.
I can't do it, especially the part with the cat. I can't stop laughing. It's
Yep.
like, very, very good time. Like I said, very atmospheric. It's all furniture moving around and door slams, and you see a shadow of something on a ceiling, and their reactions to things. And I love when she gets possessed and they think that, that she's normal, and all of a sudden she makes that churn, and you realize he's inside of her. This 5'2" midget, apparently, according to Roddy McDowall in this movie.
Right, in more ways than one.
He's slid inside her, as they say, And nastiness, man.
Boom. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Ba-dum-bum.
You have to admit, like I said, my brain fog, it is kind of departing. But that scene when, the unspeakable happens, and you just get that glimpse of that zombie-esque thing, and it's just so revolting. And I mean, like that. I think in the Blu-ray that I got, I think it's a lot more clear than it is in the DVD version that I have. It's just a little bit more, put together for some reason. I don't know.
All I'll say is that Ghostbusters lied to me that, getting sexually violated by a ghost is not as fun as Dan Aykroyd made it out to be, okay? It's just not, Oh.
Well, it depends if you're willing or not, too.
Well, yeah. I guess it was consensual when his eyes rolled the back of his head, because I didn't get that joke as a child. I get it now. That ghost is giving Ray Stans a blowjob, and I get that joke now.
Yeah.
But this is not consensual. Hence the title of the show. And yeah, she loses her mind me because of it, and it works really well in this movie. And everything works real well in this movie. Like I said, it's down to some simplicity. It's not, The Conjuring where the ghost girl is hanging on top of the wardrobe and she has to jump down and I'll scare you, And like, no, it's none of that. It's real simplistic. You never see the ghosts, but you know the ghosts are there, and they mean them harm. And of course, the doctor has a scientific solution that does not work apparently, and much like in our next movie, science does not help these people, But a couple of them live, so there's that,
There is that.
There is that. One of the ones being the white person that was the voice of reason said, maybe you guys should get the fuck out of here, So Ben Fisher, Roddy McDowell, MVP of this movie for being the one white person in a ghost house movie that tells other white folks, maybe we should just get the fuck out of here. And he was ready to go too.
Get her out of here.
He said it multiple times too. He's like, yeah, that's
Oh
not
my
a good
God,
idea.
so many times.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe you should leave.
Totally worth watching though. I enjoyed myself. First time I saw it, second time I saw it, all the times I saw it, it's a bona fide classic. I will kick it to Iris, ask her final thoughts, and what did she give it 1 to 10?
Okay, final thoughts. I'm going to give this a 10 because like I said, one of my favorites. Very well done. One of the best tropes in any of these movies that I love is don't show me the monster, because then I can, make that monster up in my head. So I think that's like one of the best things about this. A great cast. Pamela Franklin is just amazing as this young Florence Tanner who thinks she's the hottest shit around as a psychic, and then, well, she kind of ends up with a bit of her comeuppance there. Roddy McDowell, he's the one that's like, yeah, everybody, we need to go. And they're like, yeah, whatever, dude, we're here for the money. I love how he says, just, tell Dutch whatever he wants and collect your money. You're good to go.
It's kind of like the one black guy in Night of the Demons, the only guy that wants to leave, Yeah.
Let's just go.
The brother knew what was up, is all I'll say about that movie, okay? Yeah.
The brother always knows what's up.
He saw the writing on the wall.
But yeah, this is a great watch. One of my favorites for a very, very long time, and I'm going to give it a 10.
Cool. You said come up, and so all I thought was about ectoplasm now. This is going to get real gross in this movie. Okay. Oh my gosh. Suzanne, go for it, girl.
All right. Yeah, that's what I kept trying to say was atmospheric. And that's one thing I love about, a well-made ghost movie. You don't see anything. It's what you don't see that makes it terrifying. And it's the same thing with the Amityville Horror. You see nothing. Your brain does the rest of the work for you. When the doctor's wife is walking down that staircase and your eyes are all over the place waiting for something to come out and grab her, and it doesn't. It just adds to that suspense. And one more thing, this is for Iris. Somebody did write a short story about the team of experts that went in 1940 when
Oh, really?
15 years old. I couldn't remember the name of it, and I didn't feel like running upstairs and getting my Kindle, but it's called Return to Hell House, written by Nancy Collins. It's like 80 pages long.
Oh, I'm going to have to look that up in Kindle. Okay.
Yep, it's on Kindle because it's on my Kindle. I just could not remember who wrote it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all about the expedition when he was 15.
Nice.
So check that out. It's really, really good. It's got bad reviews because people are stupid.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, they are. But this is classic. This is an absolute classic. It is a just one of the absolute best of the best with a haunted house. I mean, the house could be its own character in this.
It really could. Yeah, it's kind of like Bly Manor and the other one, Hill House.
Yeah, the house is, pretty much the focal point. It is its own character.
Mm-hmm.
And every single room, it's telling its own story. Is we're going through what the characters are doing, and especially the church in hell, which is
yes,
that is one of my favorite lines in this in the whole thing. But like I said, it's atmospheric. You're unsettled the whole time. Your eyes are unfocused because you don't know if something's going to jump out. And it's scarier when it doesn't because you don't know where it's coming from. But yeah, this is straight up. It's a 10 all day, every day. The book is a 10. The short story, also a 10. So there you go. There's the trifecta.
Cool. It does everything right. I'll go with that 10 too. It does everything right. Let's put it that way. And it does everything that I like, that James Wan has perverted and just made stupid. Because you had me in Insidious till I saw the monster, and that thing's just stupid looking. And
yeah, it's Darth Maul. I mean,
it makes me laugh every time I look at it. Yeah.
The thing I really liked, I mean, I don't know who did Insidious, or not Insidious, Sinister.
Scott Derrickson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like him. But for me, it's the whole Blumhouse assembly line. It's they do some things pretty well, and then all of a sudden it's like, 30 movies a year, and each one is worse than the last one.
You know who did this right? Sam Raimi did this right with Drag Me to Hell, because he took the Lamia and said, I'm going to make this thing look as silly and stupid as I possibly can. And he did, and I'm all in for it, okay? The fucking Looney Tunes aspects of that movie are fucking insane, Yeah, it's a 10. I enjoy my time with it, and it's very, very watchable, very relevant to this day, and I'd recommend somebody want to watch it. I'm not going to say, hey, do you like all this new horror stuff? Well, you're probably gonna hate your experience with this one. Maybe I don't know, because it's very minimal, and I could appreciate it being that minimal and not explaining every fucking thing to me, and which is the thing I hate about horror films. And we'll get to the next one where nothing is explained, and I don't need it all written out for me. I don't need that. I want to have some mystery in sometimes, and everything isn't explained. They don't explain what Mr. Belasco has done and why he's so violent. They don't explain any of this. Now, if you had a movie today, you'd like have a scene where somebody finds an old trunk or something with some tomes of journals, and they find out all about blah, 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 because everybody needs fucking everything explained to them. No. You go into this house, there's a violent ghost in this house that has killed people. It's going to kill some more people. It's going to terrorize the current people in there. And that's the movie you got with this, and the book that you got. And I can appreciate that, put it that way. So 10 out of 10. And we'll leave that one at that and get very uncomfortable, guys, next. God fucking damn it. 9 years later, we get The Entity from 1982, and we'll talk about that right after the trailer.
I've always believed that there were several planes of existence, and we as human beings inhabit only one.
What happened to you guys last night anyway?
I was attacked.
Is this the first time something like this has ever happened?
No. Things have come to me. In the night.
Why do I see and feel these things?
Some things are more terrible than other things. And he felt like a man?
A big man. But when my son came in, there was nobody there. He evaporated.
That's classic poltergeist activity. You know, there was a time when people believed in the supernatural. These ghosts and demons were only ideas but people saw them.
You think I'm insane?
First, we have to find out what the problem
In
is.
the meantime, I'll be dead. He's stronger than you are. He'll kill me if he has to.
Isn't it possible that some entity has crossed into our plane of existence?
There was somebody there. I couldn't see him with my eyes, but there was somebody there.
He's in the room! Will you appear to us now?
It's my decision
What, to stay sick?
to stay alive.
The Entity from 1982. Cheapo plot synopsis. This is real short on IMDb. A woman is tormented and sexually molested by an invisible demon. This stars, of course, Barbara Hershey, Ron Silver. I love young Ron Silver in this movie. George Labiosa as her son Billy, the oldest son. George Coe as one of the doctors. I just clicked off, so I'm sorry. Jacqueline Brooks as one of the paranormal doctors, Dr. Cooley. Margaret Bly as her friend Cindy, which very sympathetic character in this film. I can appreciate that. There's some other folks show up in this movie. Alex Rocco, my hero of this movie, because he has a part in this movie that I can appreciate, and people might shit on him for doing what he did, but I'm not gonna. Let's put it that way. This is directed by Sidney J. Furie, who gave us he gave us this movie, but he gave us also stuff like I want to say it's clicking on it now. Sorry guys, some real dumb stuff, but stuff that I enjoy from the '80s. That's not this. Like Iron Eagle, he gave us, and to a lesser extent Superman 4. To a decent extent, Iron Eagle 2. He gave us one of the remakes of The Black Cat, 1989. Taking of Beverly Hills, I enjoy. He worked on Lonesome Dove. Some stuff I really enjoy. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy my time with this movie. It's a good movie, and I talked about that when we did Cockfighter, me and Cameron. It's a good movie, but it's probably something I'll never watch ever again. Written by Frank D. Felitta. He wrote the novel and the screenplay of this movie, and this apparently is based on a real woman who I don't know to the extent of her happenings that this film went to the lengths of, but I'm sure one of these ladies knows all about it. I'm sure tell us all about it. Fucking hell, Suzanne, tell us about The Entity.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is one of those a young child, well, maybe 12 or 13. I snuck out of bed to watch this in the middle of the night. It was not the smartest thing I have ever done. It is definitely based on a true story, and the book is a fictionalized account of it. And what made this case so incredibly famous is they actually got photographic evidence that was actually in several magazines. So there's that. But anyway, we have one of my favorite character actors in this, in Ron Silver. I love everything he's in just because he just adds that, like, kind of a douchey factor to it, but he's like the douchebag that cares a little bit. And he is absolutely fantastic as the psychologist. And Barbara Hershey, I give this woman a lot of credit for what she did in this movie. I can't think of many that would be able to, stay naked for as long as she did. But, onto the movie. And this one, you don't, once again, we're back to you don't really see, per se, the ghost, but you do get to experience the ghost the way that you didn't in Hell House. And it's this poor, single mom trying to go to school, take care of her kids, working, trying to get a better job. And she is just haunted by this spirit that abuses her at night. It doesn't really seem to bother the little girls, but it's vengeful as hell. So when her friend finally experiences the phenomenon, this is where the story really starts ramping up. She bumps into two parapsychologists at the bookstore. And that's when this thing gets broken wide open. And once again, we do have our element of science with the the experiments, which is, I have to admit, I don't think I would want to go through that particular experiment, especially with a spirit that is proven to be dangerous. So once again, we have this fantastic cast with all of these wonderful elements of a haunting. One of the creepiest. There are certain scenes in the movie that I just find much creepier than others. And there's just one scene where her friend comes over and spends the night with her. She wakes up in the middle of the night, and you get like that little wispy music, and the light turns on, and then it turns back off. That, for some reason, I find terrifying. And, wow, here I am with the damn brain fog again. This is what lack of sleep gets you, boys and girls. But we have just all of these things that make a good ghost movie. What, you can't see it, mostly. You're seeing the breakdown of family, relationships, and one in the absolute worst possible way. Thank you, Alex Rocco. And it's brutal. It is. I still enjoy watching it, but it's, to this day, the brutality of the attacks still makes me a little bit cringy. And there's one thing I noticed. I have seen this movie for many, many times over many, many years. And at the very end of the movie, when she walks through the door of her house after the experiment is over, and she starts hearing the doors slam, and she starts going toward the front door. I never heard it before. I don't know if it was something that they updated the audio on it, but it spoke. Did anybody else hear that, or have
It was there. Yeah.
I don't remember it.
It says welcome. It says welcome home, cunt. In that voice.
Carla.
No, it says cunt.
No, he said cunt. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go pull out, because I've got the 4K version. I've got the regular DVD version, and yeah, I gotta go pull up both versions. Fast forward to the end and see. It was just, I don't know. I don't know how I missed it. I remember that, all of that at the end. I don't ever remember hearing that voice as clearly. Have I gone insane?
No, I believe it was part of when they redid the DVD to Blu-ray. I don't know if it was just added to, or it was something that they didn't cut. Because I have watched the movie, the one that was in the movie theaters, and I clearly remember it said Carla and not cunt.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm not imagining things.
No.
Okay. Good. But once again, it's one of those, it's the quintessential 80s ghost movie. It's scary. It really is scary. The music is, at least the music kind of prepares you for what's coming in. But I still have I like the movie. I like it a lot. And, God, I just suck tonight. But yeah, carry it. I'll figure it out.
You're okay. Iris, go for it, girl.
So, same as Suzanne, extremely atmospheric. Love that you never get to see the ghost. I had not seen the movie. I had read the book first, way back. I think I was 13. And then of course I had to go seek out the VHS. But in the yes, as you used to do, right? And if your local VHS guy, he didn't care if you were 3 and renting a porno. As long as you paid him, he didn't give a fuck. Right? So I was able to rent it. But in the book itself, it's a samurai that is the one that's abusing her. It is a Japanese warrior, as they say in the book and everything. So I found that very interesting. But in this, apparently it's some like miner or something, some guy that used to live there. And yeah, some parts do get a little uncomfortable, because it goes on for a bit. Scenes. And the atmospheric part about it is that you see things shaking. You see her breath because the room gets so cold, and she's getting ready to get raped again. Then of course she meets up, like you said, with the parapsychologist. Now, what's interesting in this, it has a lot of elements of everything, right? You've got the psychologist, the parapsychologist, and it is true. At the time, here you see that they put her in an actual lab, and it's the nitrogen and all this other stuff. I mean, okay, whatever. But in the real case of the gal's name was Doris Bither, and it was Dr. Barry Taff, the Barry Taff that you hear the name drop on Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and all these ghost hunting shows. The original ghost hunter, as they like to call him, he was the one that talked to Doris Bither and went to the house, and he was the one that took those photos. And there's an actual video of the guy with the camera had gone upstairs because they wanted to put a camera up there to show if there was, something in the attic that was making noises or whatever, because they were hearing noises amongst seeing, like lights, flashing lights and things in the house. So as he is up there, all of a sudden they start hearing him, thrashing about. So somebody rushes up the ladder into the pull down ladder, and this guy, you can clearly see the person says you could clearly see that he was being held up, and he was grabbing his neck. So they grabbed him and brought him down, grabbed the camera. They have a little bit of what happened, and you see the guy actually being lifted up. So they go up into the attic, of course, to see if there was maybe, like a nail that he got hung up on something, but there was nothing there. So that was also part of the evidence that Dr. Barry Taft and his crew had gathered. Now, the part of her going into the lab, somewhat kind of real, because in the movie, I believe it's Dr. Cluey, the lady psychologist.
The lady doctor. It sounds close.
And the real lady doctor that was doing paranormal stuff was Dr. Moss, Thelma Moss. And she was, at the time at UCLA, they had these labs that were studying parapsychology. And Dr. Barry Taft was also a part of all that. So there is a lot of real elements that were thrown into this movie, which I really appreciated as I got older. But the kid who watched this movie was scared shitless because, oh my God, now a ghost can rape you.
That's terrifying when you're a teenager and you are even a young tween and you snuck out of bed in the middle of the night to watch this movie.
Oh my God!
And you there scream, or you're going to get your ass in trouble.
Well, not only that, but had my parents known that I had rented this movie, because I had waited for had said, oh, I'm not feeling good today, I'm not going, to Wednesday night church, and they all went, and I threw this movie in. I'm there by myself at night watching this fucking movie, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get raped by ghosts because I didn't go to church.
Listen to us laugh about this now.
I know, right? It's funny now, but the movie is great. It really puts you on edge as soon as you know that ghost is going to show up, it puts you on edge, at least for me. And it still does that. And I've seen this movie so many times because it's something I enjoy. And like you were saying, Barbara Hershey, man, kick ass to be able to do these scenes for so long in the state that she was in. It is just fucking amazing. And I mean, kudos to this woman. Now, if you are interested in seeing, it's called The Entity Files, and it is an interview. It's like interview style, and it's Dr. Barry Taff and Barbara Hershey. It is on the, I believe it's the DVD by Anchor.
Okay.
Anchor House. I think that's who it is. And that is part of, it's, kind of one of those little things at the end that you can watch, kind of like a commentary. But yeah, my goodness, what a movie. And does it make me uncomfortable anymore? No. But I'll tell you what, it gets, it gives me heart flutters and that excited anxiety of, oh shit, here comes the ghost.
Uh-huh.
It still does that to me. And not a lot of movies do that still for me. So, I mean, this one and the Exorcist, those are the only two movies that still kind of, like get my heartbeat going, faster because, I'm getting that. It's weird, but that excited anxiety of, oh my God, here comes the ghost. Here comes the demon, that you're going to see something awful and you're excited. I know we're all weird, but yeah, it's one of my faves.
Well, there's one scene in the Amityville Horror that kind of does that for me. And it's once again, George is up in the middle of the night. He hears the marching band and he goes down, all the rugs are all rolled up. The furniture is all pushed back. And then he trips over that dragon and has these bite marks on his leg.
Yeah. Yeah, the lion, yeah.
Chinese food dog thing. But yeah, for me, it's like those little subtle points. The entire movie could be the most terrifying thing, but for me, it's the little subtle things.
Yeah, it really is. And what's kind of interesting is that this gal, Doris Bither, so Dr. Taff and one of his assistants go and they do all this photography stuff. But then, I don't know, about maybe 30, 40 years later, another investigator by the name of Benjamin Radford basically looked into the whole thing again. I looked at the pictures and all this other stuff and basically decided, that it was basically a distressed family. She had a lesbian lover, but didn't want to say anything. So she was making this other stuff up. And it's just this woman really, really needed just some psychiatric help is what I believe.
Yeah, I remember reading when I was finding some of the, the facts about the actual case, that she had a bit of a drinking problem. As one of the doctors said that she really liked her beer.
Yeah, she did have a drinking problem. She, her husband and her were still at odds, and, he used to beat her and all this other stuff. So then she started dating a woman, and that didn't work out very well for her. So, a lot of what this Benjamin Radford is thinking is that, it was just in her head, she had made up this entity that was abusing her sexually because that's how she felt that everybody else did to her, and of course we'll never really know the truth because she passed away in 1999.
Yeah.
So, and and according to her, she continued seeing these things. It didn't stop after she left the house. It followed her to wherever she was going. So that's why a lot of people think that it was just something in her head, this psychotic delusion that she had that something was after her, when it was really just her not being able to work through the issues that she had with her past relationships.
I mean, I do have to wonder, was she that tortured that she could physically manifest those things?
Dude, I mean, think of stigmata. When somebody is completely, they are so turned over to their belief that they make themselves bleed, and there's no wounds. So, yeah, I think psychotic episodes, our brains are just these amazing things that can either help or hinder us in so many ways.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I gotta say, first of all, if we start talking about this movie, that the doctors in this film, they're all skeptical, but they're all skeptical for good reason. I mean, because they know about her past. They look into all this stuff, not to damage her, just to say we're looking for a logical thing to see why she's feeling these ways and how she could possibly be damaging herself. Possibly, we know better. We know what's going on, but people will say like, oh, she's got no control over her body. This is like Rosemary's Baby and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, it's not the same thing. These people are trying to get down to business here. She has small children to think about. And, they something might be wrong with mom. They don't know. So they're thinking of it logically. So I like in the fact that there's skeptics in this movie along with these paranormal investigators. And they're skeptical for the right reasons, And that's great. But this film, this is a first-time full watch for me. I only watched parts of this movie, probably only in clips, and because I knew the subject matter, I knew going in what I was going to be watching, but I didn't know that it was going to be this severe. Because when you say that Barbara Hershey is new to this film, she is full frontally new to this film, and there are parts where this specter, this entity, is touching her, and you see him sucking at her nipples and pushing in on her body parts. And I don't know what effects they're using to do this, but it's fucking effective to me. Because let me tell you, this is a woman who's in pain. This is a woman who the bathroom scene is uncomfortable, and you can tell. But that's a little less believable when you walk in the door and you see her flesh being pushed in by some unknown force. And it's not even a drag. It's just bizarre. I don't want to watch that anymore. It's just, I can see, because there's a part where Alex Rocco plays her new boyfriend, her new stable man who happens to be away because he's a real estate guy. He comes home, he's celebrating a new job, which he had to see, he was be with her more and didn't stay home and not travel. And what does he get for this? He gets this thing. He walks in on this thing, pushing down on the flesh of the woman that he loves. And when she goes into the hospital from her trauma, there's a scene where Alex Rocco, where Ron Silver is talking to him, and he's saying he needs you now more than ever. And he's having this reaction that I'd imagine, and this man would have this reaction. To the point of the shit I just seen, I want to be there, but I just can't. I can't do it, because fucking terrifying. When he tried to go save her, but much like her son, this force pushed him away, and being that helpless, not to be able to help, this person that I love who's in pain, I'd be terrified that it would happen again, and I couldn't watch that. So Alex Rocco. MVP, if people call you a shit pig for not wanting to be there, I feel your pain, my brother. I think the son is a great part in this movie, Billy, because once you hear about her past, like his father died in an accident before he barely knew him, and she's been with these other fellows, but he's always been like that patriarchal figure in the house. He's out there in the garage, he's fixing the car. He's fixing different things in the house. He's taking care of things. So he feels he needs to take care of Carla, the mom, and the little sisters. But the whole time this is all going on, he's trying to be her protector. And again, he can't do nothing about it either, because he gets to the point to where, the lightning's a little silly in my opinion. But, he gets a broken wrist from trying to help mom, where she's getting ravaged on the couch. And there's, again, nothing this male character can do about that. But he still sticks around, of course, because that's her son. Again, that patriarchal figure who happens to be her son, who's always going to be there, who's always going to do whatever he needs to be with his mom and help his mom. And I've been there with my mom after my mom left my father. I always felt that patriarchal thing. My mother, she wasn't well mentally or physically, so I had to be there to help her, to do certain things. And I feel you, Billy. I feel the love. And I was crying right now just thinking about it. See, her friend Cindy, I thought was a great character in the film too. She's that typical, girlfriend who is, if your husband slaps you around, you can go to her house, and she allowed her kids to stay in her house, although her husband was a big dickhead about it, but she wasn't going to turn them away. So that sympathetic character was a very important piece of this movie to me, and it got a little silly in the end. I don't know how again, to the extent of what experiment they did to try to stop this thing, but the fact that we're going to put you in this prefabricated house that looks like your house and blah, 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 blah. I think the ghost knows what your house is and what it's not is. I'm just going to throw it out there. I think he does. I'm just going to throw it out there. So building a whole replica of her house I thought was kind of stupid. And her, oh, by the way, we're going to spray this liquid, what was it? Nitrogen?
Nitrogen. Yeah, liquid nitrogen.
Spray this liquid, it's helium, I think.
Helium.
Was it?
Yeah,
was it helium? So liquid helium. I hope it doesn't touch you.
Yeah. By the way, you have to run to this safe room when we say so, so you don't get fucking frozen to death and damaged. Which the part where you really get that when the ghost starts fucking with shit. When it sprays the doll's face, it just shatters. It's like, that's the reality for your ass there, lady, okay? That could have been your face,
Make sure you get to the safe room.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of what have yous for you to have an unstoppable, invisible force that raped you and could possibly stop you from getting to that safe room, But yeah, the end is the most comfortable for me because you think that, oh, she's home now with her kids and it's going to be okay. But, the door slams and, welcome home, cunt. I'm like, no, this doesn't have a good ending, and it just makes you feel yucky inside again. No. It's there's no winning. And then you get the scroll that says that she's still tortured by this thing to this day. And like,
not as bad.
There's no winner here at all. And I'm like, no. I just feel uncomfortable. I need a bath right now just talking about it, I can't do it, man. I'm like Alex Rocco. I just can't do it, man.
He's like, I'm out of here. Bye.
It's not even like that. I mean, people will diss that character, but he was that terrified, and I would be too. Let's say one of you were attacked by an unknown thing, and I lived with you, and it stopped me from helping you. I mean, if I had to stand there and watch that and not be able to do anything about it, I'd be in that same state. And I'm not even fucking kidding.
That is pretty harsh. Man. It is pretty harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, hey, a man's got to help a woman do. No, I got to stand there, wanting to help, obviously, and watch that. It's a no for me, man. I couldn't do it. I close my eyes. That's all I would think about every time,
Well, yeah, because it would make you feel less of a man because you're there to protect, right?
Well, yeah, in a way, Again, Billy too. Billy, the same feeling, but Billy was the stronger of the two, obviously, of him and his new possible stepdad. That's not going to happen now,
Yeah, but you know what though? Billy was used to seeing them come and go.
Yeah, but he still wanted to be that guy though, to be that patriarchal figure that they say, you know what, I'm the man of the house. You want to mess with my mom, I'm going to fuck you up. And you know what? He was fucking her up, and he could do nothing about it at all.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. This movie's rough. And again, it's a great movie. It has all the right places, and it's good all the way through. I like the science aspect of it. I love the doctor's aspect of it. I love the fact that they put this whole idea of the abused woman and they're questioning, is she actually being abused? Because you have to question for the stuff she's saying. But it goes back to any, domestic abuse case of any time. Either the man or the woman is going to be questioned. Is this really going on? And I think that, as far as a modern version of this, Lee Winnell's Invisible Man did this really well. But he had a suit to make himself invisible. But again, she had this whole idea of this invisible force that was torturing her, and nobody believed her. You know, but he's an actual physical manifestation though in that movie. So there's a little differences, but it's the same kind of feel. You know.
Totally, I get it. Yep.
But I'm done. Suzanne, final thoughts, and what do you give 1 to 10?
Well, this movie, it for me, what makes it even scarier is the fact that it is based on an actual case. And as you know, Iris and I think pretty much covered, the main points of that case. But it's still just scary, and to this day, I have to admit, a little bit shocking at times. No matter how many times you've seen it, it's still, you still get anxious. But yeah, this one is still pretty much up there. It's like for subject matter, I really don't want to give it a 10, but I kind of have to because it's incredibly well made. So yeah, fuck it, I'll just give it a 10.
Okay, Iris.
Yeah, same for me. 10. Again, another movie that it it gets you in the feels and gives you the goosebumps, and it raises your heartbeat and your pulse, and you hold your breath. And a lot of movies nowadays don't do that for me, so I really, really enjoy this movie. It's sad to think that the gal who was going through this, was it for real? Was it not for real? But it was very well written out, and of course, it helps that Defalita was the one who wrote the book. But sometimes the studio will squash a lot of what the screenwriter is doing, and for the studio to actually put this out the way they did, I mean, props to them, right? So yeah, I really enjoy this movie, and it's a 10 for me.
I'm gonna give it an 8, and not because I felt uncomfortable. It's just some of the science in the film seemed kind of hokey, especially that end part, like I mentioned. They started describing what was gonna happen. This is the kids' room, and this is this room, and this is the panel you have to hide behind when we say so. And we're gonna spray this ghost with this liquid helium, and it's the most coldest subject of the earth. And if we hit it, it's gonna break in a million pieces. I'm thinking in my brain, this ain't gonna fucking work. It ain't gonna fucking work, So going into the final showdown, that's not really a showdown. I'm like, this shit ain't gonna work. It's gonna fuck up. And he's gonna get her again. He didn't get her again in that scene, but I guarantee he got her again after she got home. So he's still very much a thing. Samurai rapist, apparently, according to the book. Get her again. Oh man, yeah, but it's an 8, and I say on a rewatch I might rate it higher, but I'm not gonna watch this again. So, and it's not the film itself. The film itself is great. It's very well put together. I just don't want to do it to myself. I'm Alex Rocco, just hanging out in the hospital. Like, yeah, I can't do it, bro. I'm playing the patriarchal role in the entity. I can't do it.
Like, I'm done. Peace out.
Peace out, Barbara Hershey. I hope you're well, baby. But although she did do a new interview on the Blu-ray, so she must be comfortable to talk about this film. So it's on the Shout Factory Blu-ray. I believe she has an interview. The guy who plays her son has an interview. Ron Silver obviously cannot because he's passed on, obviously. And I think that the composer has an interview, and there's some other stuff on there too.
Nice. Nice.
The new interviews.
I'm trouble getting here and getting that copy too.
Yeah, good shit though. Fucking again, I'm scratching my flesh right now. Come on, guys. We're gonna come back from all this uncomfortableness and then close out the show.
Hello?
Hello, who is this?
Who are you trying to reach?
I don't know.
Oh, I think you've got the wrong number.
Do I?
I'm gonna hang up.
Wait, don't hang up. What's that noise?
Popcorn?
You're making popcorn?
Uh-huh.
I only eat popcorn when I listen to podcasts.
I'm about to listen to a podcast.
Oh, really? Which one?
Probably the podcast on Haunted Hill.
Is that the one with the two guys with the beards?
Yeah, Dan and Gav.
Dan and Gav. Yeah, that podcast was scary. I liked it.
Most episodes, they look at 2 different horror movies. Each episode, they look at a world of the strange, where they look at weird things from around the world. Sometimes they even do special episodes where they look at different genres or directors' discographies and talk about them.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Maybe.
So where can I find the podcast on Haunted Hill?
Or you could go to legionpodcast.com, Facebook, Twitter, or just go into iTunes and search for the podcast on Haunted Hill. So, are you gonna ask me out?
This'll keep it quiet. Oh, hi there. I didn't see you. You caught me cutting a new show. I'm Bo Ransdell, and I'm one of the many creators you can find on Legion Podcasts. I said quiet! My fellow podcasters and I work hard to bring you the best in horror podcasting, but that comes at a cost.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Not that, but also yes. No, what I'm getting at is that there are server costs, costs for good microphones and software for editing, all the things that make our shows, fun to listen to. And you can help. If you're enjoying the shows on legionpodcasts.com or in the Legion Network available on iTunes and Stitcher, just about anywhere you can download a podcast really, you can help us out and get a little something for your trouble at patreon.com/Legion Podcasts. For just $2 a month, you get a pair of movie commentaries exclusive to Patreon, and for $5, you can also join us for a monthly screening of a movie. All of that available on patreon.com/Legion Podcasts. We appreciate it, and thank you for listening. Now, back to the cutting room.
First and foremost, I don't say this enough. We're glad to be back, and I'm glad to be back with these 2 women. And I've said this countless times to people that the key to running a fun podcast that you're comfortable in doing is finding women that are more intelligent than yourself. And you know what? I got 2 right here in my stead that are not only more intelligent than me, but will fucking go to bat for me and vice versa. And bless you guys for that. I don't deserve you, okay? Let's put it that way,
Aw. Yeah, you do.
Oh, boy.
And I'm an awful person. No one deserves me.
Quit telling yourself that, Suzanne will invite you to her house and feed you and keep you warm and watch bad sci-fi movies with her husband because, this is the type of person Suzanne is. She's got that giddy lifestyle for you, Feed you till you were full, goddammit. I'm sure ours is the same way after the other day. They eat good over there too, I guarantee it,
Oh yeah.
Get it
I
in,
make the wife sit down and watch bad, shitty sci-fi with me.
I bought Moonfall on digital, not because I wanted to see it, because I know Pat would annoy the fuck out of his wife with it. I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, and guess what? It worked.
It worked, see? I got the desired effect, see? And that movie is terrible.
I came down one morning. I was stumbling. Well, you've seen me stumble and stagger over to the coffee pot. And oh my God, this was on. Pat is laughing like a fucking lunatic. And looking at him like, oh Jesus, that's Moonfall, isn't it? He's like, yep. Next question is, how long is left? Oh, I just started it. I should just go back to bed.
Nah.
I will sit here and suffer loudly.
Wait, is this the one where oxygen is being taken off and there's this family that has to ride into a tunnel or something?
No, this is the film in which you find out.
Oh wait, no. This is When Worlds Collide 2022 version, right?
This is where you find out that the moon is built with nanobots and is a space station.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I watched this. Yeah, and I made the wife watch this with me.
Really
She's
stupid.
Like, what the fuck am I watching? And I'm like, I have no idea.
At least the cat lives in digital form. Is all I'll say about that movie.
Now I remember. Okay.
Oh,
okay,
it is.
okay.
It is awful. It's not great.
It's a ridiculous movie.
Yeah, we are proud members of the Legion Podcast Network. Yeah, go join the Patreon and all that good stuff. We don't have any content down there ourselves, but we'll work on that. Getting some good stuff on there for you guys. Cause I'm in the mood to work, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And yeah, I'm glad to be back. I mean, like I said, you know how the seasonal depression is a very real thing, and it hits me the hardest right around November 1st. And you know what? I don't want to interact with anybody. It's not you. It's me. Cause I just don't. My mother died around Thanksgiving. You guys know this, and I never been big on Christmas. So right after Halloween, I shut down in a way. I got to fix that problem. Again, I'm not. Let me phrase this correctly. I'm not suicidal, people. So don't think that. It's just it's a mental thing with me. And
It's just a rough time, man. I do the same thing, you know.
It needs a break.
After Halloween, it's like
it needs a break though. It needs a break though, because this is something I'm passionate about. This is my therapy. Love being with you guys on this ride, and I hope you guys are enjoying what you're listening to. If not, we'll keep on doing it, because I need this in my life, you know. But yeah, Cinema Beef, baby, back in the saddle again. Literally, with the next show that we're all going to be together on, there may be, and I'll say this now, there may be some interim episodes in there just to get some stuff recorded. If these ladies need a break for a week or something, we're going to go every 2 weeks for regular episodes. But the next episode you see with us all together is a fun idea I had to talk about 2 classic films, with the Little Bill Double Bill being Little Bill from Boogie Nights, William H. Macy, and Little Bill from Unforgiven in Gene Hackman. So with those 2 films, you get the Little Bill, Double Bill. So.
Oh my God.
Two very different films.
Nicely done.
Yes.
Nicely done.
It'll be fun. I love both these films for all kinds of reasons, and all kinds of naked things that I don't feel comfortable looking at. You know. Oh my gosh.
Woo.
Even Marky Mark's prosthetic penis. You know. Oh man. You're a shining fucking star, son. No. Yeah, we'll talk about that next episode. And look for all the good stuff Iris mentioned. Look for Last Call of Torchies, 2 Drink Minimum commentaries. This could all be found in the Butcher Shop feed, including this show, and on the Legion podcast feed. Yeah, I didn't leave anything out, I don't think. And I'm on the ball tonight, people. But thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been your Sin Beef podcast, where if you've got beef, we've got the grinder.